Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester news and transfer news, and I've got to be honest, it's Good Friday, which is religious purposes, but it's a Good Friday for me as well. I'm very excited about the video we've got coming up for you at 1 o'clock. Very excited. I'll be telling you about that in a moment, but we've got the latest Manchester news, Man United news and transfer news. We're going to be talking Havertz. There's some new developments around Grealish, Milinkovic-Savic as well, but I tell you what, it wouldn't be anything if we didn't start talking about Jadon Sancho, because there has been a development around Jadon Sancho, and it's to do with The Athletic. Many people believe The Athletic to be a very credible outlet these days. I'm not going to disagree with you about that one, but there has been stories recently that make me feel that they're filling paper, talking about United wanting a centre-back, when I think we all know that's not the case. But with Jadon Sancho, I think it's a little bit like throwing a dart at a Kardashian's backside. You can't miss. You can't miss, and I just want to say I'm talking about those. I'm not talking about a real dart. I'm talking about well, you know, them Velcro things you used to get as a kid. A Velcro dart that will stick on a pair of Velcro leggings. And look, I'm sure it's not the only thing it's had up the. Anyway, look, let's carry on. So they're saying that Jadon Sancho favours a move to Manchester United this summer. Because of two reasons, really. One, that Manchester United are willing to offer up the financial package that Jadon Sancho would want. Because let's be honest, footballers don't just move around for their FIFA career mode. They're moving for money as well as developing their career, so that's fine. And the second thing is Marcus Rashford. That the relationship he's got with Rashford on and off the pitch is a real attraction to Jadon Sancho. So that's what The Athletic are saying. I mean, look, as I said, it's such an obvious story at the moment to talk about Jadon Sancho. I think we're going to see more and more of these. And I think what's next week? Jadon Sancho's moving to United because his favourite colour's red. Oh, Madrid playing white, Chelsea playing blue. What about Liverpool? Oh, he doesn't like the Scouse accent. I mean, this deal can't be done until we get football back. So it's, look, as I said, 70% sure Jadon Sancho will come to Manchester United, but new developing stories about it, unless it's coming from his mouth or it's coming from Solskjaer or something like that, it's very hard to be any closer to a deal that's not going to happen until football comes back, if you know what I mean. Obviously, we are the favourites. Chelsea and Liverpool, apparently, according to this article, can't really afford the financial package for it, or they're not willing to go as big as United are. I mean, United have always done this in recent years. It's worked sometimes, it's not worked a lot of the time, where, you know, look at Pogba. We went with a big financial package to make sure we got that deal done. We can do that. Ed Woodward, for all his criticism, is quite good at that. So, yeah, look, it looks good with Sancho. I must just play this as well. Just give this a listen. This will make you laugh about the season coming back.
Who's getting promoted from the Championship? This ain't, everyone's just making it about Liverpool, blood. Liverpool fan. You understand? There's more than Liverpool in football. You get me?
Bro, I'm making it about my team. I don't care about anyone else, blood. I just know that I need to avoid the team, blood.
I can't believe what I'm about to say here, lads, but I think that the season needs to be voided.
What? Void that, blood. Void that. Yeah?
Nah.
Void it.
Why?
Finish it. Over.
Genuinely, what is your reasoning behind that?
So there you go. You've got a Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs fan talking about voiding the season. And shock, horror, a Chelsea fan, a Spurs fan want the season to be voided. Why? Because they're both in the Champions League anyway. So look, links in the video description. That very interesting debate, as you can imagine. Link in the video description. Get over there and have your thoughts on it after this video, or now if you want to. I've dropped my comment in the top, and I think it's the most profound comment I've made and the most relevant comment I've made. So make sure you check it over there, smash a like and say what you think about that. But links in the video description about voiding the season. Very interesting to watch people who are now, I would say, and I'm only talking from a footballing sense here, they're looking after their own interests. Spurs are not going to be in the Champions League next season. Let's void the season because we know we're in it again next year if it is voided. So interesting about that. So what else have we got to talk about? Jack Grealish been linked with a move to Everton today. Now, I don't think United fans need to worry about this too. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten the exciting news. I'm going to tell you that in a moment, straight after the Grealish thing. But I don't think Manchester United fans or Manchester United have got any concerns about Everton going all in for Jack Grealish, because all you've got to do is let him. I tell you what, lads, if I was Ollie, I would be like this. I tell you what, lads, I can't even do an Ollie. Let him go to Everton, like, let him go to Everton and let him have a chat with Everton. Let him have a nice cappuccino with Ancelotti. Let him have a stroll round Goodison Park. Let him do all of that. Let him even have the pen in his hand. Then get me the phone. Man United want you, and he'll just walk out. And I think that sounds very arrogant, but that's the situation when Everton and Man United go head to head for Grealish if it happens. What I would say is about Grealish is that a couple of weeks ago he did something regretful, and a lot of us weren't happy about that. Second chances are allowed, and whether United are willing to still go for that player or not, we'll find out. But let's not kid ourselves. If United make a moral stand and say we don't want Grealish because we've got concerns about his attitude, then an Everton will come in. Maybe even a Spurs will come in. Mourinho thinks he can, do this with these sort of players. He's tried to do it in the past and he's been successful. So United's moral stand up against Grealish won't stop him leaving Villa. There will be a club that goes, you know what, we think we can tame him. We saw it with Ravel Morrison. So many, Sam Allardyce tried it. Lots of people tried it. So, and I'm not saying for 1 minute Grealish is like Maddison. I don't think that for 1 minute. What I'm saying is, if United want Grealish, they'll get Grealish. If they don't, someone else will come in and get him. So the Everton links don't surprise me, really. Talking about another midfield, Kai Havertz by Leverkusen. Very, very well touted around Europe. Very, very good talent. There was a story from Sky Germany saying that he would favour a move to Bayern Munich over a Manchester United because he wants to stay in Germany. And this is always the problem. We've seen it with Goretzka. We may well see it with Werner. We've seen it with Goetz, we've seen it with Lewandowski, players that United have been linked to from the Bundesliga for year upon year upon year, and they end up going to Bayern Munich because that is how that league has operated for as long as I can remember. It's not like the Premier League. The Bundesliga can't be like the Premier League. They should do, because it would make it a better league. The reason the Premier League is the best watched league in the world is because it's competitive. And alright, look, Liverpool and Man City have been running away with it. United ran away with it for a few years, but it's a competitive, exciting league, especially in relation to acquisition of players. There is not one club in England now that goes, we want Liverpool's... imagine Man City, they've got the most money probably because of all the oil, but they can't go, we want Salah, we want Pogba, and we want Kante, and that's what we're doing this summer. And next season, if Chelsea have got a young player, we're having that. But that's what Bayern Munich do, and have done it for years. Even though Dortmund have won titles against them and have normally been their main rival, Bayern Munich in the summer will go and take two of their best players. They've done it with Hummels as well. So this doesn't surprise me with Havertz. It's been going on in Germany for a long time, and this is why I never think we're going to get German talent. And interestingly, Sancho isn't German though, is he? He's playing in the Bundesliga, but he's an English player. I think if he was a young German winger and everyone's going, Sancho's coming to United, I'd be like, I'm not confident he's going to go to Bayern Munich. So Kai Havertz to Bayern Munich, I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen. But then again, he's such a good player, he could go to Real Madrid, he could go to Barcelona. I don't feel that he, because he's about 20, would be looking at a Manchester United move, to be honest with you. Corriere dello Sport, Milinkovic-Savic. This is a story that I like. Milinkovic-Savic. It's a player we were talking about 3 years ago, and I was desperate for us to sign him. I mean, he was the Bruno Fernandes for me of 3 years ago when we had Mourinho. I was like, go and get him. It was just before the World Cup. It'd be a great signing for United, and it didn't happen. It was disappointing and it didn't happen. But so this time around, I mean, he's still only 25. I like Milinkovic-Savic, but I don't think United are in for him, and that's my honest opinion. This is a Mourinho target for United. That's where the links are. We were very close to getting him, but we didn't. I don't see him as a Solskjaer signing. I don't think Solskjaer would go for that sort of a signing, and I don't think Solskjaer wants any connections with Mourinho. I mean, to be fair, Maguire was a player that Mourinho was looking at, so you could look at it in that sense. However, Corriere dello Sport are saying much the same as what's happened with Dortmund and Sancho. They would not be looking to sell Milinkovic-Savic for any less than 100 million euros, which is around 80 to 90 million pounds. We're not going to pay that. We're not going to pay that for a Lazio midfielder, and Lazio are doing very, very well at the moment, but we're not going to pay that for Milinkovic-Savic. And there's talk that he's the perfect replacement for Pogba, and in many ways he might be. And I'm not opposed to the signing of Milinkovic-Savic if Pogba goes. I'm really not. I just don't believe we're in for him. I don't believe we're in for him, and that's how I feel about Milinkovic-Savic. So whatever you think about that, that is coming out from Corriere dello Sport. So interesting about Havertz and Milinkovic-Savic and what's going to happen. But I go back to what I was talking about last night, and I do think that United will be keeping their options open. They will, because maybe a Havertz becomes possible, maybe a Milinkovic-Savic becomes possible, maybe a Samori becomes possible, Zakaria. There are a lot of players out there, a Thomas Partey. You don't know what the financial situation is. Atletico Madrid might need to sell. there are clubs out there that may well need to sell. And the interesting thing about Thomas Partey is we've never really been linked to him, but he still does have this 45 million release clause, which is a bargain if Atletico Madrid and him part ways. Now, it's not really dependent on Atletico Madrid because you can pay the release clause, but there's a lot that can be done there. And I think, much like the voiding of the season video, and do give that a watch, a lot of this depends on where we're going. My personal opinion is, and I must say this, of course, it's a lovely day here in the UK. It's the start of an Easter weekend. Stay home, stay safe. Look after yourself, look after everyone else. However you want to look at it. But you must do that because you can get this. Not your friends, not your family. You can get this. You can be in hospital. You could die. That could happen. I could. Everybody could. So stay home, stay safe. But also, from a football sense, from anything that you enjoy, whether it's cinema, pub, as I always say, whatever, restaurants, seeing your family. Sorry, family, you just come below football, pubs and restaurants and cinema, but not immediate family. I see them every day. But it's, if you want those things back, stay inside this weekend, because the more we do and the more these things starts to stabilise and drop, the closer. I mean, the thing is, I would say it like this: if you're thinking about having a barbecue over the weekend with your mates, you might put us back by 2 or 3 weeks. So if you want to see football at the start of June, having a barbecue or going out where loads of people are today could put it back to July. And every weekend that you do that could keep putting it back. If we all do it, we will get back where we want sooner rather than later. And I don't think we're too far away. I mean, look, football's going to be behind closed doors. We can still do watch-alongs. But football's going to be behind closed doors, of course it is. I think we can have that back. We're not far away from that being back. And by not far away, I mean June. So it's there. It's there. Please smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. But also, can I just say this? At lunchtime, this is Sir Clive Tilsley. And Solskjaer has won it. Interview with me and Clive at lunchtime. Really interesting stuff he's got to say, because he was around Manchester United for a long time. He's got great friends in football. He's very good friends with Roy Keane. Some interesting thing he says about that. Also speaks about Pogba, the current United situation, and of course, that famous goal and what it was like to commentate on that in real time. That's coming up for you at 1 o'clock. Really excited for that. Smash a like on the video and make sure you check out the video in the link in the video description. The Void the Season with Troops and Rory expressions and the Liverpool fan. Really interesting, and check out my comment on that. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you all soon.